Welcome back everyone to Sonic A350, and welcome back to a new episode of Trains Globally. In today's episode, we will learn about the history and how Metro Trains Melbourne runs. Hope you enjoy. Metro Trains Melbourne, often known simply as Metro, is the franchise operator of the electrified suburban passenger service on the Melbourne Rail network. Metro started off as VicRail, then to the Met, which then turned into M-Train, which then combined with Connex, but now it remains as Metro, Public Transport Victoria, which was founded on the 30th of November 2009. On a track length of 965 kilometres, Metro Trains Melbourne runs a fleet of 220 six-car train units. The gauge on which Metro runs their trains on is broad gauge. There are 16 normal rail lines and one line for special events. A workforce of 3,500 rail professionals, including train drivers, mechanical and electrical engineers, network operations specialists, and customer care representatives, are employed by Metro Trains Melbourne. VicTrack is the state government's agent for leasing the railway track, infrastructure, and rolling stock to Public Transport Victoria, which in turn sublets them to Metro Trains Melbourne. The Victorian government commercial entity VicTrack is the owner of most of the rolling stock. The fleet of the trains is maintained by Metro Trains Melbourne. The trains in Melbourne's suburban network are all powered by electricity and equipped with sliding doors that are powered to slide closed but opened by passengers. Comenge train doors are opened using handles as opposed to the buttons on the newer Extrapolis 100 and the Siemens trains. The Extrapolis 100s were the first of 19 trains built by Alstom in Italy and ordered as part of the 2008 Victorian Transport Plan, arrived at the Newport workshops on August 24, 2009. In accordance with a requirement from the state government for a minimum of 40% local content, the trains were put together at United Group's Ballarat North workshops. By the time the last sets entered service in 2020, there were 212 3-car or 106 6-car sets in the fleet, thanks to additional Extrapolis orders. Evolution Rail, a collaboration between Downer Rail, Changchun Railway Vehicles and Plenary Group, was chosen in September 2016 to construct 65 new high-capacity metro trains for delivery in 2019. In May 2021, an order of 25 Extrapolis 2.0 trains was confirmed by the Victorian government in the lead-up to the 2021-2022 election. The trains are anticipated to enter operation between 2024 and 2026, and will first run on the Craigieburn, Frankston and Upfield lines. Following the removal of a number of Comenge sets in 2022, scrapping on the oldest of the Comenge trains started. By the end of 2022, the Pakenham and Cranbourne line will be exclusively operated by HCMT trains, and the Sunbury line will follow in 2026. There are 5 different groups which have their own lines in it. The Burnley Group, which has the Lilydale, Belgrave, Alamein and Glen Waverley lines. The Caulfield Group, which has the Pakenham and Cranbourne lines. The Clifton Hill Group, which has the Mernda and Hurstbridge lines. The Northern Group, which has the Sunbury, Craigieburn and Upfield lines. And the Cross City Group, which has the Frankston, Werribee and Williamstown line. Now, as you may be wondering, the Stony Point line and special services. V-Line has leased their DMU sprinters for use on the Stony Point line. Now, the special services. The Flemington Racecourse line doesn't really have any regularly scheduled services, but whenever there are race meets there, services are provided to the racecourse. Services are provided to the showgrounds platform for major events, such as university exams, as well as the Royal Melbourne Show, which takes place every September. When the Craigieburn line is closed, services can also be provided on the Flemington line. 219 stations' daily operations are handled by Metro Trains Melbourne. Metropolitan Railway stations include terminus stations, premium stations that are staffed from the first to the last train and throughout the night during night network, and host stations that are staffed primarily between 7 to 9:30 for the morning peak, though some stations are staffed for an extended morning peak between 6:30 and 7:30. The Mikey ticketing system is the only one utilised by Metro Trains Melbourne. Mikey is a time and zone-based ticketing system that covers the metropolitan area of Melbourne, with 2 zones and validity durations ranging from 2 hours to 1 year. The ticketing system for Metcard was shut down on December 28, 2012. The Tate, also known as the Red Rattler. The Newport workshops in Melbourne, Australia produced the Tate trains, which had wooden bodies and were electric multiple unit trains. The Harris train. The Harris trains were the first steel-bodied electrical multiple unit train to operate on the suburban railway network of Melbourne. Comenge. The Comenge train is a type of electric multiple unit which runs on Melbourne's suburban rail system in Melbourne, Victoria. As a replacement for the Tate and Harris trains, they were inaugurated in 1981 and built by Commonwealth Engineering in Dandenong. Extrapolis 100. The Extrapolis 100 is a class of single-deck electric multiple units, part of the Alstom Extrapolis family of trains, operated in Melbourne. The Extrapolis 100 was built in La Rochelle, in France. Siemens Nexus. The Siemens Nexus is a class of electrical multiple units manufactured by Siemens Transportation Systems for the suburban railway network of Melbourne. HCMT. The high-capacity metro train is a type of electric multiple unit train for use by Metro Trains Melbourne. The first train set entered service on 27 December 2020 and will become the primary rolling stock used in the Metro Tunnel when it opens in 2025. Hello everyone, I really hope you enjoyed that episode of Metro Trains. Make sure to check out my Trains Globally V-Line video if you haven't seen it, I'll leave the link in the description. I have planned to finish Australia's trains first and then move on to different countries. I hope you have learned something new and see you in the next episode. Cheers, Sonic and Trediture.